Hey, what's going on, guys? James here, bringing you another YouTube video, and this one is a very weird, interesting video. I don't know. It's you can see I'm in a completely different environment than I normally am when I record these videos, and that's because I'm actually in school right now. I've got a couple of free periods right now, like back-to-back free periods at the end of the day, and I had nothing to do, so I was like, well. I know of an empty room in my school. No one, it's an old classroom. No one comes in here because no teacher's in here anymore. So I was like, hey, I got some ideas for a video. I got some stuff I need to get done. It's like, well, perfect time to get some stuff for YouTube done. So this video, you can tell what it is by the title. It's new and updated rules for Tournament Tuesdays. I've been working on this for quite a while. And as of the 27th of February of this year, of course, and of course I've updated it since then as well. I think I've got a good template for rules for Tournament Tuesdays to make the most fair but competitive environment for that series. Now, with that being said, I'm like hunching down because like I don't want my head to be off camera. Actually, that's not that bad. I mean, if I lean forward, it's awful. But so either way, So that's the thing. My awkwardness right now is dying. Like, it's killing me. Yeah. Anyway, so with that being said, I don't know. I feel like people probably think with all the rules I'm implementing, I'm like just salty and I just want to keep my title forever. I don't have my title with me, obviously, so I can't like hold it up and be like, yeah, I'm the champion of the world, bitch. I gotta be really quiet if I decide to cuss, because it's like, oh dang. It's also currently lunchtime for some people, so it's like, yeah, it's a little weird. It's a little weird. Either way. Oh, and by the way, I don't know why I'm doing this kind of video instead of just having the rules up on screen. I mean, they'll be there, but I also have the webcams. Like, I don't know what I'm doing, guys. I'm just a little bit insane. Either way, enough dabbling. I feel like people are probably going to say, yeah, I'm salty. I just want to keep my title forever, blah, 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 blah. That's not true. I just want, like I said before, to make the most fair challenge possible. And you'll be able to see this on screen. As I'm just going to adjust it a little bit. Dang. Of course, this is just for WWE games, but if you ever decide to go to other games, we'll have to update and change the rules a bit to apply for those games. Anyway, WWE games tournaments. So obviously the very first rule on the list is no being cheap, and that should be self-explanatory. We're playing the game competitive, like Tyson and myself and anyone else who would be in a tournament of a WWE game that I know. We're playing competitively. There's no reason to be cheap and just cheese your way to victory. And saying cheese, second rule, no cheesing with a repeated stomping, just like the $1 Million Tower is what I like to call it. And of course, I could probably put a clip showcasing that. But yeah, no doing the stomp cheese. And that, like I said in the thing, as you can see on the screen, it goes with the first rule. Makes sense. And then along with that, there's also, okay. At the start, in the first two tournaments maybe, that we brought in, or that we brought it back, started with the most fun tag tournament. It was just use resiliency as many times as you have it. And then, of course, with the previous few tournaments, I said only one time, because you get rewarded for getting the crap kicked out of you. But I feel like Tyson has actually been less competitive in the tournaments. He's still been very competitive. In fact, in one of the tournaments, we've been doing a bigger, like 16-man total. Screw you, Bell. But we've been doing a larger 16-man total. 8 people for him, 8 people for me. Our favorite wrestlers, favorite superstars tournament of all time, and he's actually got quite a few really good kickouts in that tournament, whether that be from a signature or a finisher maneuver. He's got very little health, very good kickouts. I applaud him for that every time. It's great, but I also feel like on a whole, he's actually kind of less competitive. So I'm going to up using resiliency to twice per match. I don't want to go back to 3, but if it means, of course, this is a rule that we obviously had to test thoroughly. And 3, I felt like it was too much. 1, apparently, is just not enough. We'll try out twice, and I think this will be the sweet spot. But, of course, we're still testing it first and foremost. Rule number 3, that was rule number 3. Rule number 4, you can use ring escapes, but do not abuse being on the outside. AKA, as I said in a Most Fun Singles tournament, I think it was part 1. It could have been part 2, but I think it was part 1. I can put that, I can overlay that, on the top of this. But it was the thing where Tyson was kind of abusing being outside the ring it was a match with Aleister Black. I can't remember if it was the first match where it was against Adam Cole, or if it was the second match where it was against James Fatal. I'll figure it out and tell you guys right now, like you already know. But yeah, you can go outside the ring, just don't abuse being outside the ring, is what I call the WWE All-Stars tactic. That's what I called it in that video. And I said here, there's a difference between being strategic and being a pain in the ass, and that is absolutely true. But yeah. Number 5, only use pins and submissions when you think it's right. So again, it was I think it was at the start of it was the last part, part 2, the final part of the Most Fun Singles tournament. I said, let's stop pinning off of normal moves, because if you get beat by a bogus just normal move or a bogus submission, that's not fair. But at the same time, I will say, if you're going to use pins and submissions that are normal, do them when you think it's right, if they make sense. Like, say if you, say in the, our favorite superstars 16-man tournament, one of the matches, I'll give you a little sneak peek, it was Shawn Michaels for me against him playing as John Cena. Now, with that being said, as I got okay, it went away. With that being said, there was a point in the match where I hit a pile driver with Shawn. So I went for the pin. That makes sense. You pin after a pile driver. And even if he kicked out at like 1, I believe, still. So stuff like that. Pin, maybe use a submission when it makes sense. Like Daniel Bryan, I would not be mad, because Tyson has Daniel Bryan in that tournament as well. I would not be mad if he used a bunch of submissions. Just make sure if it's a normal submission, don't win with it, because that's cheap. And that, of course, goes into 5A. You cannot win with a submission that's a normal move. The submission systems are just too much of a pain to allow normal move submissions to be a thing. Now, number 6 is one that is very interesting. It's probably like the most debatable of this whole thing. And rule 6 is grounded finishers have to be replaced by another variation of the same move, i.e. curb stomp, dominator, black mass. And I said, like, it's 6A. The reversal timing is just too random. Sometimes it's extremely precise. Other times, it's rather easy to reverse it. And sometimes it just won't give you a reversal prompt, period. And those are all true. Sometimes you have to be, literally blink and you miss it timing. And if you're not like the fastest reactor ever, you don't get it. Sometimes it's easy. And again, sometimes it just doesn't give you the prompt. So because of that, I said no grounded finishers. They had to be replaced. But at the same time, this is another thing that we're going to be testing, because in the favorite wrestler tournament, again, a little sneak peek here, Tyson has Seth Rollins. And at first, he had the grounded ripcord, which we both agreed to replace, because our reasoning in the video, at least my reasoning, was that grounded ripcord just doesn't look impactful. That was the main reason we got rid of it. Tyson had already gotten rid of it in his game, so that's the way we rolled with that. But we also gave him the grounded curb stomp. So, it is what it is. But, and I'm cool with that. I love the grounded curb stomp. I think it's better than the standing curb stomp. Plus, whenever I think of the standing curb stomp, all I can think of is Chris Danger from 2K16. Chris called it the tribute. So, But yeah, the grounded curb stomp I think is just a better animation, so I'm cool with that. But then there's an animation like the the black mass, where I actually love the grounded black mass, and I'll probably end up. See, that's another tricky thing, because like the standing one is cool, the grounded one's even better, but the grounded one, same thing with like the grounded Dominator for Bobby Lashley. It practically doesn't give you a reversal prompt, so that's a pain. I don't know. We'll definitely talk more about that. If any of you find this video and got any ideas for rules that I'm not talking about, any like explanations maybe that you could give on some of the rules, like add to them a bit, or maybe like update them, whatever. Just let me know. Post it in the comments. I read every comment pretty much, so when I get comments, insert sad face, whatever. Like, nah. But either way, so that's one thing. Grounded finishers and signatures we'll definitely think about. Number 7, overall, no using moves that are cheap, because there definitely are some moves that are cheap. And this sentence is about to get rather explicit, but 7A, play like you want to be a champion. Do not play like you think you're hot shit because you know how to be a cheesy fuck. Yeah, it's a rather explicit way of describing that, but I feel like it's accurate, so yeah. But either way, I also said the very last thing: limit any salt or rage. Just have good sportsmanship to either the winner or the loser, because we all know that it's like, oh, you're being a sore loser, but yeah, we all know, come on, that sometimes winners are worse than the losers. Unless Tyson and I are actually doing a story based on this, because it's wrestling related, blah, blah, blah. Because we do have some plans for that. I won't spoil anything, but we do have some plans for that, like promos and stuff, so. We actually have some promos recorded, but his is actually pretty good. Mine, I'm never really good at promos, but the one I recorded at the time, I'm not into, really. So, I'm probably going to record something else. That's what I'm saying there. But that is actually all I have written down right now. Again, in this video, you can see the rules. Just let me know any thoughts on the rules. If you want to like change some things for us, just let me know. Post in the comments. If you think we should add anything, like we're missing anything, again, let us know. Put in the comments. But until next time, guys. I can't talk right now. Until next time, guys, I'll see you later. Bye, guys.